Here to talk about kind of a story that makes you smile because it ended well, but it may not have ended well. And that's why we're here to thank some people and mention the story. BlydenBurgh Park has BlydenBurgh Pond there, sometimes called Stump Pond. In 1798, Isaac BlydenBurgh and his two cousins dammed that branch of the Nessequag River to create a waterfall to turn their mill. But they weren't the most ambitious people in the world, so they didn't cut down the trees. They cut down the trees but left the stumps. Those stumps are still there today. And unfortunately, last August 19th, I think it was, and the 20th, there was a huge rainfall, in which we had about 10 inches in a very short period of time. That pressure broke the dam, and the Nessequag River spilled and flowed north. It's the only river that flows north. We have 4 rivers, all in Suffolk County, on Long Island, only 4. They're all in Suffolk. And it's the one river that flows north. And I don't know about you, but try to explain that to a kid in geography, that a river can go up the map instead of down. But it did, and it flooded Jericho Turnpike, or Middle Country Road at that point, whatever you want to call it, and continued and emptied out the whole pond, so it became a big mud puddle. We took a look at that. We are going to rebuild that dam. And we'll probably have an announcement within the next month when the weather turns that we're going to be starting construction and rebuilding that dam. But in the meantime, all that water that had emptied out, it had become a big mud puddle. And someone, I think Stryker is the name, this wonderful dog, Austrian Shepherd dog, kind of attracted to that mud and wandered into that. And his owner, Kyle over here, Kyle, give a wave. Oh, my dog. And would do what any of us would do if our dog was put in jeopardy. Let me go out and rescue him. And being a little bit heavier than his dog, Kyle sunk into the mud in such a way that he could not extricate himself from the mud. And it's like, whoa! Unfortunately, some passerbys heard, alerted the police. The police activated the aviation unit. They found this, and then we have 2 rescuers here. Sergeant Catherine, is it Kunzeminski?
Yes.
Okay. And Police Officer Richard Esposito came along and helped them out. And I'm going to let them and our police commissioner tell a little bit about what they did. I have certificates of thanks. I think this one is for you, Sergeant. Oh, of course not. Here we go.
Thank you so much.
To thank them for their service. But if it wasn't for these 2 police officers, this gentleman would have had a much tougher time because he was sinking in the mud. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our police commissioner and then to our 2 police officers to tell the story. But I wanted to thank them because every day our police officers, men and women, do an excellent job of trying to keep us safe. And this is only one example of that effort. So, and you can think about all the types of times that people got stuck in muds. What was it, the last Indiana Jones movie when he got stuck in quicksand? But Commissioner, I'm going to let you tell the story, and the 2 officers.
Thank you, County Executive Romaine. I think the County Executive pretty much said it all. This is kind of a real strange situation that they encountered. It's not every day that we get somebody stuck in the mud. And remember, with the elements and the cold the way it is, it's not going to take long for you to, be hurt very, very badly. Hypothermia, potential to drown, all comes into play there. These officers really did a heroic thing by going out into the mud, knowing that, they were very likely going to suffer the same fate as Kyle and Stryker. So they really did a heroic thing, worked very, very closely with our aviation unit to locate Kyle and basically save his life, really. So thank you, Sergeant Kuzminski and Officer Esposito for the great job you did. And Kyle, thank you for coming out here today with Stryker so we could all be reunited and really celebrate the fact that, you're here with us alive today. So thank you.
So you have any questions? It's a feel-good story, yes.
Is it okay to hear from the officers how they feel being recognized?
Why don't you guys take a step?
Yeah. How did you effectuate the rescue?
There was about a dozen of us officers in there, and BlydenBurgh Park is gigantic, as you know. So we all just kind of went a different path, and as fate may have it, I popped out right where Kyle was. Had a brief conversation with him from the shore, and I said I'm not going to let him sit in there. So I made my way out, and once I got about a foot or two from him, I went down with him. And we laughed for a second, but I was able to shimmy out and grab him by the arm and just pull him out, and I'm just glad he's okay.
So it was a situation where time was of the essence. You said
Yes.
you were looking out, so you had
Yeah.
to go fast.
Yes.
When you sank, Kyle said, like, don't get too close.
Yeah, he did.
Don't get too close.
As he said that is when I took my next step and went down with him.
What was that like to feel that?
Yeah, it was scary, but just didn't give up and just pulled myself out, and then him.
How does it feel for the both of you being honored today?
It's great.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, achievement, and, we're very honored to achieve it. Thank you very much for this ceremony. It was definitely a big teamwork effort. We have some fantastic resources within the department. So, I do have to give it up to this guy, though. He's the one who single-handedly pulled him all out. I made the attempt myself to get to him to assist, but myself included, I sunk to about my waist and had to army crawl my way out of there. So, but that's why I have to give it all up to him. He pulled them all out on his own. So he did a great job.
Did you think that you were going to get rescued while you were in there?
It crossed my mind, yeah.
It was definitely a concern.
Yeah, yep, definitely.
And I wasn't going to let that happen, I can
Yeah.
tell you that much. But I think he did a great job.
Why did you stay that front to get the commissioner?
Just spell your names for us. Spell your names for us.
My name is Sergeant Catherine Kuzminski. My Katherini, my first name, and my last name is Kuzminski.
Richard Esposito, ESPOSITO.
How long have you guys been on the force?
Okay.
About 7.5 years now.
9.5, almost 10.
Kyle, why don't you come up and tell your story?
So this little guy,
We'll hold on to him if you'd like.
you got him?
We'll get him.
So I usually take my dog on a walk. So we were on a little bit of a hike, and 3 miles into the hike, he saw a duck to where the lake used to be, and he ran off. I went to follow him to go, get him out, and I started sinking down to my knee. At that point, I wasn't really sure that this was really happening. Once I realized I wasn't able to get out, that's when I called 911. I was on the phone with them for about 40 minutes before Officer Esposito found me. By that time, I went from my knee to my waist, and the rest of the story is how they explained it. He pulled me out, tried to get him not to get too close, and here we are. So I'm very thankful that he was able to pull me out.
Now, I know I always sound like a therapist, but how are you feeling right now? Seeing them, it's emotional, knowing that they came to your rescue. What's going on in your mind right now?
I feel nothing but thanks because, if it wasn't for him, I might have sank further, and we were not sure, how that would have went. But I'm very grateful.
What was it like when you first saw the video?
When I saw the video, kind of surreal. I was like, I still was in disbelief that it was really happening. And then, seeing it in real time, it hit hard, realizing that was what really was going on.
What does 40 minutes feel like when you're sitting there up to your chest?
Cold. Very cold. I couldn't feel my face, couldn't barely feel my lips. My legs, couldn't feel it. So I was just more worried about staying warm than anything else, but I was incredibly cold.
It was mentioned that on the video, the dog is near you.
Uh-huh.
And that you kind of think, you thought that maybe he sensed that you were.
Yeah, so for the most part of it, he was just running around in circles, having the time of his life. And then towards the end, it's when he, took a seat right next to me. I think he realized something was going on. But for the most part, he was just enjoying himself.
Did you think you were actually going to, your head would go under?
Not at first, but towards the end, I definitely did, because they were having trouble finding me. I know they got sent out a helicopter, and once the helicopter spotted me, I kind of felt more relieved. But for a while, they were having issues finding my exact location.
What's the age and the breed of those dogs?
Striker's an Australian Shepherd. He's 7 months old. He's a little 4th of July baby.
Are you also feeling thankful for technology and the fact that you had a cell phone?
Yes.
Because that could have ended.
If I didn't have a cell phone, I was probably just going to scream, because there's no way I can get in contact with anyone. There's like no one there that day.
Were you slowly sinking down like quicksand, or was it just
So I immediately fell down to my knees, and I wasn't able to pull myself out. I was slowly sinking. I was trying to hold on to a frozen piece of dirt, but once that piece of dirt thawed, that's when I kind of sank a little bit further.
Any other questions? Good?
Thank you.
Why don't we stand down? Kyle, come on
What's
up.
Move the podium over so we can take a photo, whatever they need for you guys. Move this over.
Why don't we give the awards to the officers?
Absolutely.